Hey, what's going on, my freaks and geeks? This is the Square Round Table. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Today, guys, we have a very special guest with us, and an awesome artist coming all the way from Brazil. Please give it up for Mr. Gabriel Jardim.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited.
Hey man, we're excited to have you, bro. Like, this is awesome, man. Like, we're talking a little bit before the podcast. Like, it's so cool, man, to have you here and just being able to contact somebody like all the way from Brazil, man. Especially somebody that's interested in the same things like we're doing right now, man, and killing it, in comic books and all that kind of stuff. Like, hey, the pleasure is all ours, bro. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah, man. I wanted to know though, because like we seen you on Instagram, you've been doing a lot of stuff. I've seen you draw like certain anime, and I know we talked about a lot of the anime influence and just like how spread out anime culture was in Brazil. I just wanted to know, as far as like comic books are concerned, like superheroes and things of that nature, like what are some of your favorite comics growing up? And as far as like how everything is in Brazil, like how's comic book culture in Brazil? Like, how spread out is it? How's the convention culture? Like, how is that where you are?
So when I was growing up, I really liked to read Spider-Man and Batman, the Hulk. I think they were my favorites. And here in Brazil, the comic book culture isn't so big as in the US or France or Japan. But I think like manga is like a part of that is very popular. And there is people that only read manga and doesn't read like regular comic books as superhero and stuff like that. Here is, for example, you can't survive doing comics here. All Brazilians that work here inside the market do it because they love it. They can't stop doing it. And for being a comic artist here and getting a life, survive, you have to work to the US, for example. There's a lot of Brazilian artists that work on DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, and and every publisher. It's like a small market here, but everybody that loves it is really in love with comics, like a very loyal public.
Okay. So do you like, are there any big like Brazilian artists that work for Marvel or DC or anything that you look up to, or anybody that you've had like the pleasure of meeting or anything like that?
Yeah, totally. I'm very lucky because I'm from a small town here in Brazil, like a small state, far from Rio or São Paulo. And here lives my biggest comic idol for whole life. There is Mike Deodato. He worked for Marvel like 20 years.
Oh wow!
He draw every superhero that you can imagine.
Oh wow!
And no Marvel way, no da Marvel. Here is his book, like Marvel of Mike Deodato.
That's dope.
I am picking that up. I gotta get that. That's
dope. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. he draw the Avenger, his autograph for me.
Oh,
Oh
that's
wow,
awesome,
that is
man.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him when I was 9, and
Oh wow.
yeah, from this day, I decided to be a comic artist. I
Wow.
sent email to him with my drawings, and he said, "Hey, you have to be better at this. You have to study that." And he's really nice guy. The autograph says for Gabriel, which I have known small or little, I don't know, young, and his talent has grown up with him, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm speaking here. So when I met him, he was doing the Hulk. So here's a cover.
Oh wow, that is so
Yeah,
cool.
that's sick.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
man, I
he
love
over here.
that.
I'm gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah, he draw like the Dark Avengers, and he gave me a comic book. This was the cover. I still have it inside.
Oh, that's really
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah,
So
I am completely jealous. That's awesome.
so when I went to his house and saw all these drawings on the wall, I get crazy, you know. Like,
Oh wow, that is cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is really awesome.
Yeah.
He is. I love his artwork, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very lucky, you know, to have this guy like a master, and
Yeah.
can help me with tips and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Ooh, I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, I recognize
Yeah.
his work. Yeah, he's very talented.
Yeah, you know, like the Captain Patriot, like the Iron Man with the U.S. colors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He
Definitely.
created that design for
What?
Marvel.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
That's sick.
Here in Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's
wow,
sick.
that is
Oh
dope.
man. So he
Man,
came up with that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you
that's
know,
really
Yeah,
cool.
you know a legend, man. That's awesome.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, the Iron Patriot. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you see the
That's cool.
the credits on the movie, like Iron Man 3, you can see his name there because of that.
Oh,
Oh, they
okay.
gave him credit for
I'm
it.
gonna
That's
look
cool.
for it next time.
Yeah, definitely. See, that's awesome.
And also there is a scene in the first Spider-Man when Toby is drawing the costume. You know, there is I forgot the name. There's a frame behind him with a drawing of Mike. You know, like Electra.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, that's what's up. Dang, so he's definitely he's been doing this thing.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah,
I've
I've
seen
seen
that
that
one
a lot. I
I've
know
seen that
exactly who he is.
too.
Yeah,
That's
I know
cool.
exactly who he is.
He really was the start for me. You know, here is his ugly face.
Nice. Ugly.
Had to roast my man. Real quick.
That's right, he just roasting him. That's what's up. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So you can say that honestly said that he inspired you to want to pursue like being an artist, basically.
Yeah, totally. So when I was
That's
a
what's
kid,
up.
I said I want to draw at Marvel because of him. You know, I wanted to be just like him. So after that, I started studying. I did a comic course to learn all the theory about it, like the narrative, the drawing theory, and yeah. But I my goal was to draw for Marvel, DC, and something like that. But in the middle of the path, I changed it a little bit. I started to enjoy more like author comics, like with my own stories, and started studying and developing my skills on writing and stuff like that. But now I think I because I never really tried to send some samples and something like that, but I'm thinking of maybe trying something like that in soon, And besides Deodato, there is also Ivan Reis that draws for DC. He draw like the Darkest Night and the Brightest Day with Aquaman. Like the badass Aquaman. It was it was when he was drawing that. Was his idea, and there's a lot of Brazilian artists, but most of them uses like an American name like Deodato. Like this mic doesn't exist. It's like for when he started, like he was on the first wave of Brazilian artists that draw for American market, and the agents were like afraid that maybe would be like the readers wouldn't like to read something like a Latino name or something like that. So to don't be noticed, let's put like a American nickname, something like that. So yeah, he started drawing like Wonder Woman. The sales were so bad at the time when he started drawing. It get like 4 times bigger the selling, and since that day his name was very very famous, and he went to Marvel and stayed like for 20 years, and now he's doing his own comics with Jeff Lemire, from Sweet Tooth, and they are doing a partnership.
Oh wow,
right now.
that's pretty cool.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So y'all still keep in contact and all that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. I I can find him like in any conventions here, and sometimes I talk to him. Hey, can I go to your house? I have to scan some pages, or I want to show you something, and every time that I can get with him is such a fun time. He always show me something that can't be shown yet, and what he's working on right now, and give some tips and tell some inside stories of the market. It's I'm very lucky. I'm very very lucky. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
Um,
Have you ever have the two of you ever like worked on something or thought of coming up with a comic together or whatnot?
With him?
That would be cool.
yeah.
No, it'd be pretty cool.
No, never. When I met him when I was 9, he said, "Hey, when you 18 years old, you work with me," but it never happened. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotta
definitely.
make it happen. Yeah,
You'll
gotta
get there.
make it happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
good stuff. I mean, I'm sure that
Um,
door is still open. Oh, go ahead, Demetrius.
What would you recommend for someone that's like starting off, like trying to do comics, like, to get good at it or to improve their skill? Like, what kind of courses and stuff would you recommend?
I think you have to look in your town if there is any course, because I think it's better you can do like live, like not online, and because the teacher has to see your development and have a real contact and say what you have to improve or anything. And besides that, you have to practice a lot. You
Yes.
have to draw every day.
Sir.
You have to study by yourself. You have to focus on what you have as a weakness. Like if you are bad drawing hands, don't hide the hands inside the pockets of the character.
Yes.
I used to do that.
That's me all day. Yes.
I used to do that.
Yeah, if you are bad in drawing hands, you have to draw more hands than the guy that knows how to draw it. So you
Yeah.
don't have that as a flawless or
Mm.
a weakness, you know. So like if you don't know how to draw backgrounds, go study perspective, you know, go draw a lot of buildings, cars and everything. There's no big secret. There's just it's very simple, but it's very hard, you know, because you have to work a lot and dedicate yourself to do it.
For
But
sure.
that's it. Never give
Really.
up. Practice every day and go behind to study knowledge.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, what was it? Because I know for me, I can't speak for like Marcus or Josh, but I know for me, when drawing, a lot of the problems that I still have, like I said, a big one for me is hands. Those ugly things. I can't draw them to save my life. And then the other problem is eyes. It's the other eye, right? Because like, because I'll start trying to draw a picture, and then I'm drawing the face, and I can never get the other eye to line up perfectly. It's like I'm awful at that. So I wanted to know, like, what was it for you? Like, what was a big thing that you had to overcome when you were trying to get your art style to where it is today? Did you have like problems with hands, or like what problem did you have with your art?
I think I had every subject as a problem. You know, like nobody born knowing how to draw perspective or
Yeah.
cars or something like that. Hands. I think nowadays, like shirt. I don't know how to say it in English. Like the way that shirt and tissue behave on
Oh,
bodies and like the way you know.
like
You
getting
know,
the wrinkles and stuff
hard.
correct?
Yeah. Because isn't like a random thing. It depends on what is inside. No, but yeah, what's inside that clothes that molds the shape. You know,
Yeah.
and colors. I had some bad times, and I started studying to get better. You know, uh, but I remember a funny story when I was younger that I used it to draw a lot with my cousins,
Mhm.
and I don't I was better than them. I don't wanna sound like cocky or something like that, but I was a little bit better, you know.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
we used to draw a lot of Dragon Ball, Goku, Vegeta, and something.
Sick,
And
yeah.
uh, we said, how about we draw some girls to change a little bit? And I said, yeah, of course. And I drew it. When I saw the girls that my cousin did, he was his skills are lower, but he draw like a girl. I draw like with a skirt, you know. And I
Yeah.
said, "Oh my God, Milo is so much worse than he." I had to, yeah, I had to improve drawing girls, you know. And after that, I draw so many girls that uh, I like more drawing girls than guys nowadays, you know.
That's a
I
skill. That's a real
Yeah.
skill. Because
No,
I've
it
noticed
is.
that too. Yeah, because man, and isn't it the worst feeling in the world? Like you're trying to draw, and then the girl you draw looks like The Rock. It looks like so
Bruh,
damn so.
my problem my problem I have is like when I try to draw it, I can't get like the waistlines right and like how to shape them. Like if I want to make them like slim or kind of with a little curve or something. And then I remember I learned what helped me is when I took figure drawing in college,
Mm.
and we had to draw like actual people, and it would be like the model, the nude model, and you could actually see like what people like had a curve or if they had a love handle right here, and you had to know like the proportions of the body, so one leg wouldn't look longer than the other one, and you have to really like take your time, and that's why it's crazy because like for you, Gabriel, I know you do comics, so sometimes y'all can't like take time because y'all have to get it out. But I know like with like the body, you really have to pay attention to that because especially in comic books, because that's something people are gonna be reading, and if they see somebody who got like a little arm like this, and then they got the other arm like this, is gonna throw it off. So I know that body. It's hard to to draw, right? And like with women, well, female, especially being a male, you want to get it right because you don't want to offend them. Yeah. So
yeah, it's really, as I said, this practice and this study. Here sketches that I did my sketchbook.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
Those are cool.
Oh, that's really dope.
Yeah.
See, exactly, it's that feminine face. It's like that's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's dope.
You gotta make it real soft. Yeah, like yeah.
I mean, I never. It's funny. It's funny. Though, oh what? Oh well, yeah. It's funny though, because like I never had a problem drawing like men and women. I've always had a problem with poses.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Poses.
Yeah, poses are hard too though.
Yeah.
Because usually when I draw like up and down, just standing straight, kind of like that.
Wow, that's cool.
Awesome, man. That's tight.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't. Yeah, like that. Like poses, like that's a perfect example. Like that, my head would explode. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I say, I can't do any of that. I'm an artist person here. So when y'all talk about this stuff, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just like, yeah, totally cool. Yeah, I know perspective, arms. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're here.
It's okay, D. You still a part of the group, man.
Oh wow, no, that's cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Not Selena Kyle. That's my girl right there. Yes.
Oh,
hey.
Oh, is
that's
that
tight?
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's hot. That is so cool.
It's Beyonce, but
hey, not Beyonce. That's dope.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's so. Gabriel, so for your poses that like kind of like the ones that were the dancing poses and all that kind of stuff, do you use like reference models, or does a lot of that come from off the top of the head?
Yeah, I use a lot of reference. I actually for many drawings of mine, I take some pics of myself doing the poses, and I draw looking. I take on my phone and I look and draw. If you practice, like when I'm drawing the comic pages, it's hard to use reference because when I draw a lot, seeing the reference, so your head starts to saving some poses and some reference inside your brain, and when you have to draw it without a reference, you do better than other people that don't use it because you already have that pose in your mind, So I use a lot. When I don't, maybe there's like a pose that I try to do it and I feel that's not getting right, and I take the pics to get it better, And sometimes I take the pic, but isn't exactly what I want. But starting off that pic, I can modify a little bit and change it to be what I want, Yeah. So I really use a lot. So most of my drawings are with reference, and like maybe some people can think it's like cheating or something like that, but all the great artists in the history use it. Like if you go to the Renaissance and stuff like that, they always have the models posing, and as Marco said, this idea of exercise, like having somebody posing to you and you drawing like in real time, is the best exercise there is. You know, to get all proportions and poses and stuff like that.
No, I completely agree. I don't think for people that do say that, you know, I think it's I don't think it's cheating at all. Like, cause I've even liked I would watch when I was younger. I'd watch like old footage from like Disney cartoons, like especially Alice in Wonderland to be specific, because what they would do is they would have the actors, the actual voiceover actors that would act out the movie. They'd have them like on a sound stage, like in place for where the actual cartoon characters would be, and that's what they would use for their reference as the actors were acting out that scene. So that's just like I guess kind of an archaic way of looking at it, but yeah, I really think it's really hard, you know, especially, you know, being an artist myself. And for what you do to actually make a whole book or a whole body of work and look at it objectively and say that, oh, this isn't right or that isn't right, that's really tough, because like I've noticed, and I know like Marcus and Josh, you probably could relate to that. Like when you're busy drawing a picture and as time goes by, you kind of lose that like objectiveness, and things like symmetry and things like balance kind of are a little skewed because it's hard to really keep that up. So I noticed like when I draw a picture and by the end of it, I'm like, wait a second, that, like I talked about the other eye, like I'll be like, once I'm done and I haven't looked at the picture for a couple days, I'll be like, oh, that looks awful. Like, what was I thinking?
You go back and look, you're like, oh man, I wish I could go back and just straighten that out.
Yeah, because you lose that. You lose just that ability to look at your art objectively and be like, yeah, I can easily see that this isn't right. So, like, how long did it take for you, Gabriel, to get that process down to be able to make a whole, like, comic or a whole, like, illustration of the story? And just to be able to know, like, okay, yeah, this isn't right, that isn't right. You know, like, how long did that process, like, I'll put it this way, like, when did you write your or illustrate your first book? Like, when did that happen?
So, yeah, I think it's very important to get a break when you are drawing and, I don't know, go take a coffee or go do anything else and after go back. And that's another advantage of doing like the whole pencil and after do the ink. So my vision isn't addicted anymore. We say in Portuguese, addicted vision, you know. You can see all the what's wrong. I did my first comic in 2014.
Okay.
And I don't remember your question anymore.
Oh no. Well, basically, that's all I was really asking. Like, when did you do your first like full length like comic?
Yeah. I did my first one in 2014, and I already did like crowdfunding. All my comics were were on crowdfunding. Yeah, I didn't want to start doing like a fanzine or something like that. There's nothing wrong about it, of course, but I always pushed myself, you know, and I wanted to have a comic that looked like it came from a publisher or something like that. And yeah, I started in 2014, and yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. Well, that's another good I guess sort of opener, because I wanted to ask you because we talked a little bit before the podcast about your books and Misera specifically, and I didn't know that was kind of a bad word. But yeah, like that and Matryoshka and some of your other works. Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what type of books do you like to write, or what type of stories that do you like to tell? Because you did tell me that you not only illustrated your books, but you are also the author and you write dialogue, which I think is like amazing. That's awesome. And I just wanted to know what type of story interests you, especially in your new book. I want you to talk about the new book that you're working on as well.
All right. I really like day by day story.
Slice of life, yeah.
Yeah, it's slice of life. Yeah, exactly. But actually, I say that I like a good story. You know, doesn't matter the subject, doesn't matter the style. If it's a good story, I will like it. You know, but the slice of life is my favorite style when I'm writing. You know, and I'm writing drawing. But when I'm reading, I don't know. I'm really into like how can I say that? Fantastic realism. You have it
Yeah, like fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy, but like it's a fantasy almost real. You know, it's a light fantasy. I don't know. Like there's some elements that are fantasy, but isn't really a fantasy story, you know?
Right, kind of like Sherlock Holmes, something that's not real but could be based in reality.
Not exact. You know, like Constantine, the Hellblazer.
Okay.
okay.
So stuff that could
Okay.
kind of take place in real life.
Yeah.
Like, kind of.
Yeah, he does a little magic tricks, but isn't like a fireball or something like that, you know? There's a writer that his name is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He's from Colombia, I think, and he's known for that style. Yeah, so I get inspiration from him to write my newest comic. You know, this idea there is like a regular village, but there's a mysterious disease and a mysterious guy that isn't affected, and like this kind of fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
Like he has in Portuguese they say corpo fechado, that which means like a closet body, which means nothing bad can happen with him, you know. Like he's blessed, so nothing bad can happen with him. So it's like a kind of magic, but isn't, you know, like Harry Potter or something like that.
Okay. And like, so what? Because I know before we were talking about some of those elements, and I love for you to share that with our viewers and our listeners, like some of the elements from your new book. There's your sixth comic that you're working on. Yeah. So what's kind of the like the synopsis for your new book, and what's the title of it?
Yeah, the title is Preto Tupuá, which is a verse of a Brazilian rap, you know, song rap, which means like black guy type A, which is like in the song there is like a guy who is called like that, and he's like the coolest. He does everything right. He's known in his hood as a nice guy. He treats her girl nicely. He works hard. Like he's the role model, you know. And it's in this kind of sense. And the protagonist is like that guy, you know. And the synopsis is like there's a small village of fishermen. What's the right one, man? Fisher or fishman?
Yeah, it can like it's interchangeable. Like fisher,
synonymous.
Pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
Fishman. All right.
Yeah, fisherman.
Yeah.
a small village of fishermen that starts to take a lot of rocks from the ocean, like that kind of rock that animals live inside of that, like Finding Nemo, you know
Yeah.
how yeah, that kind of um, structure. They start taking that from the ocean and selling it because it's a glowing rock, So so after that, like the nature gets mad or something like that, and mysterious disease start to uh, affect everybody in that village.
Right. They
But
started to get sick and stuff.
yeah, but him, and the food start to get spoiled, and getting the fishes start to die, and he is the key to solve that problem. And it's basic like that. And as I said, I wanted to put a lot of reference of Brazilian rap in that, so I have take some notes, and these are all verses of rap of
Oh,
different
really?
songs, different artists.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
and,
Yeah,
Cool.
that's cool.
yeah, and I want to put it like a dialogue, so everybody that knows it will get it. The reference.
They'll get that reference. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
what's up.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like I'm taking things from my state here in Brazil,
Hmm.
and Brazilian rap and some African religious stuff, and that influence from Garcia Marquez of light fantasy. So it's a whole mix.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I think that's awesome, Gabriel, because me myself as like a writer and like my little comic books I do, they're not like all like professional, but like it's like stuff like this, you know. I
All
love
right.
cause with me, cause I went to school for film, so when I draw my stuff, I do it like as if I'm doing a shot for like a frame of a shot in a movie. So that's how I do my like panels and stuff. And like with me too, I love to use like hip hop, like music and lyrics and stuff. Like I come up with like a character. Like I love the Fugees. So I might say my character gotta go to a village and go to Mount Fuji. Like the actual Mount Fuji, but it's spelled like the Fugees, and they're like the master that's there's like I'll like make an acronym for like Lauren Hill or Wycliffe or something, because like you hear like they tell those stories in their songs, so you hear the stories and you can just like like intertwine that into like your art and your writing. And that's what I love about writing. And when Chad said that you draw and you write for your comic books, I was like, bruh, that's crazy, because people don't understand how hard that is, because you have to
That's an
come up with the
undertaking.
dialogue, and you got to know
Mhm.
like what position you gonna put the characters in, how they're gonna speak, if you're gonna, because writing dialogue for a script is hard. So I know for comic books it's easy, because you really have to make it like hit, because when people are reading that, it's playing in their mind, that conversation. So I know it's difficult, and that's why I gotta take my hat off to you on that, because that is a very tough thing to do. So I know where your headspace be sometimes when you're doing that, my brother.
Really stressed out all the time.
but yeah, another thing, Gabriel, what's your creative process for coming up with your comics? Because earlier on you mentioned how there was some African elements in the culture of Brazil and whatnot. So how are some of those elements played out in some of your work?
Yeah, it doesn't have a like a rule. It depends. Every single issue, every single comic comes from a different places, you know. Can be like a conversation that brings me the idea, or something that I watch, or a song that I listen to, you know. As I said, I was working this one in particular. I was working in my fifth book, and I was listening so many rap, and at the time that I said, man, I want to do a comic with that influence. You know, I was doing this one here,
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
like a space opera. I never did anything like besides that slice of life, so I decided I want to do something different. So I
Yeah.
started working on that, and like it's like action,
That's
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
yeah, with some aliens and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's the kind of stuff I like.
That's dope.
yeah, so I wanted to do something with rap, and I was reading Garcia Marquez and this idea of like fantasy, and I wanted to do something with African culture, because even here in Brazil isn't so popular. You know, when you go to read some comics, most of
Mm-hmm.
them are actually emulating the American comics, like with superheroes, Brazilian superheroes and stuff like that, or manga based comics. So I wanted to do something different, and yeah, it comes from everywhere. So that's it. And here's to my first comic was this one, Cafe.
Yeah, cafe. That's
Okay.
dope.
Yeah,
Cool.
the cover I did with coffee.
Oh,
So
really?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Oh, that's pretty
I
cool,
painted
man.
with coffee. Yeah,
Is
like
that an easy medium to paint with?
yeah, it's very similar with ink wash or watercolors. When I did it, the page was smelling like coffee for 2 days. Yeah,
That's awesome, though.
it's inside.
Oh
That is
wow.
awesome.
Hey, that's dope, man.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's really cool.
Thanks.
How,
Yeah, that's
how
what's
long
up.
Yeah.
how long does it take to finish a comic?
I usually it's almost a year to finish, but depends.
Oh, wow.
This one was like 2 years, but he's so big. It's almost 200
Mhm.
pages,
Mm.
so it takes a long time. And that's why I did Misera between that time, because I wanted to do something faster. So I did it with
Yeah.
a friend of mine, Paulo. We did together. Which one did 2 stories, so it's 4 stories here,
Mm-hmm.
and some puzzles in the end.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
And that one
what's up.
took you how long?
this one was fast. This one, I don't know, maybe 4 months,
Okay.
Okay.
like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
And all of those because I remember we talked about that earlier, just kind of your preference. So those you do them all by hand. Like those aren't like on a tablet or anything like that.
No, they are full in traditional material.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey man, and Gabriel, I gotta since you talking about like music and stuff, I gotta give you some American artists to
That's all right.
listen to that I think you would enjoy.
All right.
Outkast, A Tribe Called Quest, and the Wu-Tang Clan. And I name those three because they all talk about like space age, like Nubian, African, Wu-Tang talk about kung fu and hip hop, and they integrated together and stuff. And Outkast is really like one of them and the Tribe Called Quest is like one of the main groups, hip hop groups that really took that like space age and
Yeah.
like you know aliens, especially Outkast, because one of their albums is actually called AT Aliens because they're from where we're from in Atlanta. So if you get a chance, like, you know, just check that out because I think you would enjoy it. Because like when you said aliens and like music and African culture, like Outkast is definitely in the Tribe Called Quest. Those two, like they gonna hit it right on the head about what you talk about. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, I know Outkast. Really
see?
very nice.
There it is.
See, he already know what it is.
So he knows. He already. That's why. Okay, that explains everything.
Yeah. But since we're on the topic of music, Gabriel, what's the difference between Brazilian rap and American rap?
Maybe I think maybe the American rap is more about showing, like I get this, I can do that, I have that. Yeah, most of Brazilian rap is about the problems of living in a poor country or in a poor neighborhood, and all the issues with the police and violence, drugs, and stuff like that. You know, I can't really remember right now a rapper that talks about money and girls and stuff like that. You know, here we have a genre of music that is called funk, but it's different from American funk. Totally different. But in this style of music, yeah, you can see all that showing up and say, I can do that, I have this. But in the rap scene, it's almost all about social issues and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest difference. It's like, you know, I think it's more similar to Tupac when he was talking about stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, like Brenda's Got a Baby and Trap and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's
yeah,
what's up, man.
No, it's and I like that. It's pretty cool. It helps, you know, definitely me seeing a lot of people out there that, you know, some of the things that people talk about, regardless of what part of the world you're on, a lot of it is kind of similar because it's not. You said our funk is different than yours, but a lot of our, you know, hip hop takes cues from some of that, you know, and then we certainly do, like you mentioned earlier, like Tupac and all that kind of stuff. We do have those rappers that do talk about, you know, struggle and all that kind of stuff, even if like that might not necessarily be what's really popular right now. It's definitely out there. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I didn't know you were a hip hop fan like that. That's dope.
I know, man. Look, we bridging the gap. You know, bridging the gap, man. Heck yeah.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. So, like, with that being said, because you were talking about earlier, just some of the different cultures that you like to put into your art and your comics and things of that nature, and kind of like how it made you want to certainly put your own work out there. Like, what do you think about just the mainstream Marvel, DC, Dark Horse? What do you think about their diversity as far as comics are concerned? Do you think they can benefit, honestly, from incorporating more artists that are from different places, like Brazilian artists and African artists, and letting them really show their perspective on certain stories?
Yeah. Before that, I want to show you this book that I was in. It's like a 10-year celebration of the first mixtape of a Brazilian rapper. Really big one. So I was invited to draw one song. So here is like him in a rap battle. Like,
that's cool.
I love it.
It was like people from the whole country drawing.
That's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was really, really nice. I didn't believe it when the invitation came, you know.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's really nice, Gabriel. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have the song, the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
and text talking about it, like with some guests talking about his work. Yeah.
Man, we need somebody to do that for one of our artists here.
Oh
Right.
wow.
Pretty
So
much. That's it.
That is
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
awesome,
that for
man.
real.
Like
Uh,
that's
Yeah.
the kind of things we need here, man. For real.
100%.
And
We can
mine,
certainly learn a thing or two.
let
exactly.
me
Like
find.
it's like here in America we don't have the same kind of community engagement with things.
Yeah. Especially
It's
like
like
with artists.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like over here. It's like we all want to like be a part of something, but from a distance. You get what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Most
exactly.
definitely.
Yeah, I could definitely feel that.
yeah.
Here is my one.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
there we go.
cool.
That is
That's cool.
awesome.
Oh
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's cool.
This song is talking about how the slavery still reflects in our society nowadays.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So this guy is noticing that.
man, I
Wow.
love that, man.
Yeah, I do
yeah.
too. That's really dope.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
It makes me it almost looks like a mouse you know milestone comics like
Yeah.
Static Shock and all that. Yeah, it makes me think about that kind of art.
Art
Like the way they
style.
do their
Definitely.
characters. That art style there, that's the word I'm looking for.
His
And a
voice
little
Hey,
is
bit
like
of manga.
That's
Okay.
that is
Oh
nice.
man.
yeah.
that's cool.
No,
That is dope.
that's hot. Like I really like that.
Yeah, for real.
That's it.
This song is like if I fall, if I die, if I fall, I will still be rapping. Something
Hey.
like that.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how many artists were featured in that book?
24, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, something like that. 24.
Mm.
So answering your question, I really think is the best thing that these companies have to do is like incorporating people from different perspectives to make every story more rich, more
Yeah.
diverse
Yeah.
from different points of view. They are doing that, but I think it has to be even more.
Yeah.
We had enough of Caucasian stories. We wanna read something different.
Yeah, it just needs to be
Yeah.
like a change of pace because like you can see like because in Brazil it's there like you said manga's huge in Brazil like you definitely have Brazilian artists that have dipped their toes in Marvel and DC. There's people all over the world, so it's just like you're not really serving one demographic when you make these superheroes. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely time. And it doesn't really need to be something that's niche either. The one thing that I'm not really a fan of with certain comics is that you might have superheroes of different ethnicities, but it only fits like one area. Or like something Demetrius talks about all the time, instead of making a brand new superhero that is of another race, you want to flip a character that's already out there. Like, oh, let's make Superman Asian, or oh, let's make
Yeah.
Batman. So it's like, yeah, you want to do it like that. But I definitely think that I agree with you, Gabriel, that there needs to be more stories told from these other perspectives. And I really dig the fact that you're making art that incorporates different religions, and certainly like hip hop from where you are. Like that's awesome.
Exactly.
So and I really hope that like more of the prominent industries, and I think they are for the most part, but I think it's going to be like a baby step sort of thing. But I think like Marvel, DC, they're going to get there eventually. you know.
Yeah, like I always say, you know, it's getting there, but we still have a long way to go because where it really has to change, like Gabriel said, you have to have more stories about us by us. So, you
Yeah.
know, not saying that, you know, other people from other races can't tell those stories, but it comes out, you know, you get a better result when you have people who can, you know, actually relate to those characters or, you know what's going on. Just like I know I keep saying their name, but like Milestone Comics is like really big for me with that because those guys were taking their stories that they know from their life and what they actually seen and put it in those characters. And they, like you said, like Dmitri said, they didn't go and make a black Superman. They went and made their own version of Superman. You know, that's where they came up with Icon. They gave him a sidekick, you know, and Static. Like, that's a new superhero, you know, or Hardware. That's their version of an Iron Man, you know, a very intelligent guy who can, you know, play with gadgets and stuff. And then you got the Blood Syndicate. That's like a Avengers of Justice League, you know,
Right.
but it's like meta-human. So, you know, when we come up with those characters and we bring those stories and they're so raw and original, you like, oh, well, I didn't see that. You know, that guy looks like me. And I know you can, you know, you can atone to that too, Gabriel. Like when you see somebody that's like you're automatically, you know, zoomed in on that because, like, as you know, we don't see it as much in comic books. So I think it's very important, and it's so awesome that, you know, Gabriel is one of those people in the industry now trying to make that change because we need it so much, you know. So yeah, it's very important to keep pushing that because, like I say, they want to have our stories, but they don't want to have them told by us. So it has to be more of us to tell those stories, and that's from all races. That is all races.
100% agree.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to preach, y'all. I'm sorry.
Hey, you hit all the strides, man. Hey, I can't add no more to that, man. You killed it. I can't add no more. Y'all got it.
Oh no,
to all our
man.
But yeah, to all our listeners out there, anyone can be a hero, which is pretty much what I think Marcus was trying to get to.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
no, for sure, because it's good for representation. Because like I think one of the things that you said early on, Gabriel, was very important to me, and I feel like, you know, you've already kind of made that. How can I say? You made that mark on other people. Certainly me. You know, looking at your artwork, because when you were younger, you were talking about how you met Mike and you saw his work and you were like, wow, you know, that's a guy, you know, from the same place as I am. If he can do it, I can, you know. And you took that and now you're making something great. And I'm looking back at your work, I'm just like, wow, you know, this guy from Brazil is killing it right now. He's like, that's awesome, you know. So, and you're doing really good out here, man. And I already know that you're inspiring so many people, you know, just like you, to that next little kid, you know, to want to grow up and be a comic book artist. Like, so that's good stuff, man. That's really awesome.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah. No, and with that being said, like, I wanted to know, man, like what gave you that idea to do the collaboration? Because we've been talking about Milestone and Miles Morales a lot tonight. So I wanted to know, because that was just amazing to me. Like that whole collaboration between Miles and Static Shock. Like, what gave you that idea? And were you like at all surprised, like when it took off the way it did? Because that mess went crazy on social media.
Yeah. So there is a Brazilian artist that his name is Gabriel Pico. He draws like casual Titans. I don't know if you already saw it, like the Teen Titans, like in casual situations. He's really, really huge, really, really huge. And he's now drawing for DC. He draw like a Raven comic, and now he did a.
I know exactly who he is. Yeah. Yep.
So I was inspired in him, and I have met him like a couple of years ago, and actually I did a version of Brazilian characters very popular here. Like I said that comics aren't so popular, but this specific comic is huge. Like every Brazilian have read it as a kid, so it's like
Mm.
um, how can I say? Every kid that is learning to reads that comics. You know, it's like Turma da
Mm.
Mônica, the name, and Monica's Gang. I think is already is published there, but anyway, I did a funk version, a Brazilian funk version of that character, like they are from the hood and
Yeah.
some street, yeah. So it really gets viral on Twitter, and like I created that account of Instagram. I was like with 500 followers, and I posted that on Twitter, and the next day was I was with 6,000 followers. Like
Jeez.
Wow.
yeah, in one day. So a lot of papers from Brazil, like no journal papers, calling me, uh, wanting to know about it, and so the Static and Miles crossover was like a year and a half after that. So it was really bigger than I expected, but I already had an experience similar to that, you know.
Mm.
That I was doing like I wanted to draw more of Static because I really enjoyed the character. So I thought I want to do like Piccolo this time because the Monica's characters I just did some illustrations like random. I wanted to do like a storyline of Static, you
Yeah.
know. So I started doing it, and people really enjoyed it. My girlfriend said, "Hey, why don't you mix him with Miles?" I had just finished a drawing of Miles and Peter, like eating some burger in the
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
of New York, you know. And she said that I thought, yeah, this can work, and I started to feed here like doing like this. Yeah, it was my idea.
Right. So look. So she's the genius behind
Yeah,
that.
she taking all the
Yeah,
credit.
there
There
it
you
is.
go. There you go.
I'm here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Hey,
what's
how you
up? Yeah,
doing?
come get your
What's up?
shine. Get your
Right.
shine.
Hi,
Hello.
Hey, how you
Hey.
doing?
What?
I'm well. I don't speak English.
Got you, got you.
Okay.
But yes, everyone, she's the genius behind the Miles and Static
The
crossover.
credit's
Yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Yes, you get the
Yeah.
credit.
Look,
the
we're
curtain
giving you
back.
all the credit. You get all the credit on this one.
Pull the curtain
I
back.
wanted money. I wanted
Since you want all the
money.
money, right? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, right. So, look,
Bye bye.
all right, it was nice meeting you.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
So I started doing the crossover and get really big. You know, they both voice actors from Miles and Steady saw it and sent me a message. So it
Wow,
Oh,
was
that's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
cool.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
yeah. And now everything that is related to Static Shock or Miles Morales, people tag me and like the
Mm-hmm.
game or the news about the Static movie that's about to happen, and it's really nice, you know. I'm really enjoying doing this, and actually I'm now working in the brand new illustration of them. They will be
So,
fighting with the Metal Bridge finally.
Cool.
hey, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's see,
that's
we can't wait
awesome,
for
man.
that, man.
We can't,
Yeah.
cause we over here we big Static and Miles fans. Like
Yes.
all four of us are like the biggest fans. So that's how we all. That's one thing we all agree on right there. So we can't wait for that.
Yeah. So that's gotta feel good because you are very much, you know, a part of that zeitgeist and a part of that universe now. So I know it's a great feeling. You know.
Yeah, that is. When I posted Miles, I did a web fade in his side cut, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody said, "Whoa, I wanna do it! And already two guys sent me photos with that web fade in. Awesome.
No, I saw
I
that.
know. Yeah. I know if I saw anyone like a cosplayer of Miles with that fade here in Brazil, at least I know that he saw it in my drawing, so it's very crazy, you know.
No, that's got to be a wild, because I saw that. I'm like, see, everybody rocking the Miles fade now. That's what's up. Look, trust and believe, Gabriel. Here in the States, man, I will send you the pictures. I already know. Next time I go to a convention, people are going to be rocking the Miles fade. People are going to have the Miles fade.
Please send me. I really love that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no. Look, we definitely will, man. Like that's big stuff. And once again, like, you know, we're happy to hear it, man. We're really, really happy, you know, to see your success and all your progress, man. And we can't wait to see what you come out with in the future, man. Honestly.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really want to, because you know, I like when I did that Monica stuff, I had no idea a year before, and in that time, I had no idea that I was about to draw a crossover of Mile and Static. And right now, I don't know what I will think about, or I will steal the idea.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I can't wait, man.
No, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be all positive stuff, man. Like I said, we can't wait either. So just, you know, keep stealing all those wonderful ideas from your girlfriend. So, but yeah, man, and like once again, Gabriel, it's been such a pleasure having you with us, man. It's been a fun time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, we enjoyed
my
it,
pleasure.
My pleasure.
Nice time talking with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same here, Gabriel. But yeah, we gotta know who's your favorite superhero.
I'd say Spider-Man.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
respect.
Okay, I'll take.
Yeah, growing up, you know, it's always one of my favorites. But between Miles and Static, I would say I like more Static.
You team Static. Okay.
Hey,
let's go.
Team
Static.
Yes.
All right.
Static. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's
go.
Let's go.
You know.
I can't wait for they release like a Static Funko or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
I need a Static Funko.
Yeah, like a really good one, man, because I need to add to my collection. You know, I need to have all of them.
Yeah.
No, certainly.
This guy.
No, because look, Gabriel, how many Funkos do you have right now? Do you have any at all?
Only two.
See,
okay. That's not bad. You know?
Yeah. My girlfriend said that she would give me one every year, so
that's what's up.
Yeah, 2020 is still missing. That's
right.
So I had this one from Saga. You know Saga?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Wheel. I really love this comic. It's from Image.
Yeah.
And I got here a Peter.
Hey,
of course, the one and only Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Of course.
That is dope. Yeah,
see,
man.
At least you're responsible with your Funko Pops, because this guy up here, Dmitri,
hey, don't talk to
a
me.
million.
Dmitri just has like 45, 50.
That's why his background like that, because it's nothing but
I'm not even in that room, man. It's all in the other room. Like you ain't gonna see that until I watch you do.
Look, that's why he has that space things. He don't want you to see all the Funkos behind him, the big wall of Funkos.
Okay. Hey, it's not there yet. It's just, it's only maybe half a wall, half.
Oh man, no, well, I'm joking. It's all good stuff, though. But yes, Gabriel, we would like you to let all of our guests, or all of our viewers, and all of our listeners know, like, where can they find you, man? Like, what social media do you have, and what can they be looking forward to as far as projects you have coming out?
Yeah, so you can find me at Instagram and Twitter with Gabriel Jardim. I don't know how to say it with English accent.
You good?
Gabriel Jardim, maybe.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That'll
That's
work.
perfect.
So, but I use my Twitter in Portuguese, so maybe, but I still post my drawings there. So
Okay.
yeah, you can. But Instagram is the most used one. I use the most. Yeah, here, but it's a podcast, ninguém mais. Here's my
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's only
Okay,
audio,
great,
right?
great. No, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
And certainly we'll put all of Gabriel's information in the description below. So, no worries. We'll have everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what's in one more time, what's the name of your new book that you have coming out, and when can we be expecting it?
Yeah, the name is Preto Tipo A. As I said, it would be something like A-type black man or black man type A, which means like a great guy, a very responsible guy that do everything the right way. So yeah, because it's a really, really Brazilian expression that is hard to translate,
Okay.
Whereas the idea is like that. If he's a guy from the neighborhood, that he's the role model for everyone around him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's that, like, the black guy role model. Maybe it's the translation. I don't know.
Okay, so just like a overall good person, like the role model, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And for all of our viewers and listeners out there, he's constantly posts like artwork from that comic on his Instagram stories. So once again, you'll be able to see all of that when we put all his information in the description below. Certainly. So
yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, no, you're good. So
and now a word from our sponsors. The Square Roundtable podcast is brought to you by 2 Photon Art. 2 Photon is an art collective whose primary mission is to make science more accessible through science communication and art. Some of their art includes science-themed patches, jewelry, stickers, zines, and clothing, all of which contribute to the inclusivity, equality, and the overall advocacy for human rights in and out of the scientific community. You can find all of these wonderful pieces on 2photonart.com. And for all our YouTube viewers out there, we will add all of their website and social media info in the description below. Hey, all you freaks and geeks out there, we are the Square Roundtable. The Square Roundtable podcast is brought to you by Science on a Postcard. Science on a Postcard is an online store that specializes in science-themed enamel badges, lanyards, environmentally friendly tote bags, notebooks, and lots more goodies that represent individuality and inclusivity in the scientific community. You could find all these wonderful products on scienceonapostcard.com. And for all our YouTube watchers out there, we will add their website and all their social media platforms in the description below.
You're good. So, yeah, guys, it is that time again.
Shameless promotional.
Shameless promotional.
So yes, guys, you can catch us. You can catch the Square Roundtable podcast every Friday on MajorZoneMusic.com, and you can catch us every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, and 1 p.m. Eastern time.
And you can check us out on YouTube on Friday. At any time on Friday. And if you like our video, like it, share it if you can, and leave it a comment and hit the notification bell. We love reading comments and stuff like that.
Certainly, 100%. And you got anything you want to add, Josh?
No, just hit our bell, please.
Yeah.
The notification
Hit the
bell.
bell.
Yeah, it's right underneath
Follow
on
us
the
on
right.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
All
Square
of it.
Roundtable.
Yes, and for all of our viewers and listeners out there, please follow our Facebook group. We love to have you guys in the chat with talking about everything we do on the podcast, posted memes, art, all of that good stuff. You could chat with all four of us on our
all of your favorite members of the podcast.
exactly exactly.
Talk to us.
Talk to us, please. But yeah, guys, so I would like all of us, including our wonderful guest today, to introduce ourselves one more time before we sign out. And once again, I am Chad Singleton.
Dmitri.
Josh Singleton.
Marcus.
Gabriel Jardim.
Hey.
And this has been the Square Roundtable. Peace.
We out.